Good morning and welcome back to Antique Central. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and today we're off to sell at the Malvern Flea. Right, it's 4:30 and we're on schedule to get to Malvern for 5:30. The car was covered in ice, so I think I probably woke all the neighbours up and I'm going to be popular when I get back. Anyway, let's head off to Malvern and hopefully we'll have a good day selling. Right, we've arrived at Malvern. It's about 5:30. The sun hasn't risen yet. We're in the queue and I expect we'll be let in around 6 o'clock, and then we'll find out where on the field we'll be selling from. And generally speaking, the rule of thumb is the earlier you get here, the better the pitch you have. You tend to find if you arrive late, you're on the outskirts of the field. But I've got to say, as a buyer, I quite often, although I am selling today, of course, but if I come as a buyer, then I tend to go straight to the edge of the field because you've got people, the late arrivals, unpacking, and they haven't been picked yet by all the dealers who sneak in early to have a look around. So there's a little tip for you, but time will tell where we will be positioned. Hopefully it'll be a good pitch and that we can make a few sales today, so fingers crossed. Oh, thank you. Right, we've just paid for our permit to sell and it costs £45. Seems to go up about a fiver a year. Cost of living crisis. What cost of living crisis? Anyway, here it is. I'll just show you. That is the ticket to get us onto the field. As I said, £45. Malvern Flea Fair, car, casual, outside pitch. The forecast is okay today. It should be quite pleasant, not too cold, no rain, which is the most important thing. And obviously I've got the receipt for my books, so to keep my accountant happy. So we're all set and we're literally now just waiting for them to open up the gates when the convoy of trucks and cars, vans, will pile in and we'll be shown where to park up. So fingers crossed, as I said earlier, it's going to be a good day for selling. Right, it's 6 o'clock and there's no sign of any movement yet, at least not where I'm parked, which is a little bit disappointing because I think the gates open at 7:30 for buyers to start coming in. And what you don't want to be doing is rushing around trying to set up while the first buyers are rushing through. Because obviously a lot of dealers come in first thing and they're snapping stock up, so you want to be up and running right from the get-go. But we'll have to see what happens. Temperatures drop now quite a lot as well, so we just sat here waiting. Hopefully we'll start to move in quite soon. So this is the view from behind my stall here at the Three Counties Showground in Malvern. Watching the world go by, dealers, private buyers. I often wonder what they're here for, what they're looking for. But if I knew that, I'd be on a beach in Barbados. To be honest, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably still be doing this, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's in your blood, I'm afraid. Very difficult to stop. But it's nice to catch up with a lot of friends and acquaintances who I've seen walking round. A couple have actually bought something off me as well. And here you can see how I laid out my tables. There are 3 6-foot tables, and I used the tubs at either end to display some additional items on, which I wouldn't have had room for otherwise. So little tip there, use your tubs. So let's take a quick look at what I actually took to the flea. We start off with a couple of hardwood parats, and these are used in India for making chapatis. A couple of nice solid brass jam pots, some prosthetic shoe lasts, little dustpan and brush, a Lefkara glass or lace tray, hand carved green man, nice little biplane, sat on top of some Victorian, I think, picture blocks. 3 photos with information of Gil Merrick, ex-Birmingham City and England goalkeeper. Pair of nice brass Victorian candlesticks. White Stallions there, 1960s print, and some vinyl albums. Now these are all, as you can see, soundtracks from movies. So I thought these might appeal as a job lot to somebody. They did get quite a lot of attention, people flicking through them, but I think they were all looking for metal, rock, punk, etc. A set of printers blocks, corporate designs from the 1970s and 80s. Little handmade mannequin head sat on top of a cast iron trivet. And a collection of vintage Cadbury tins. And below them, several bags of vintage and antique brass caster wheels. Some Crown Devon tea service. And a lovely vanity set there. What's special about that is the open barley twist candlesticks. There's a dolly, which I probably would sell as a plant stand, with a nice little faux bronze terracotta duck sat on top of it. And we finish up with 5 carpenter's block planes converted into table lamps and a steel biplane. So, quick update. It started off really slowly first thing this morning, and I was fearing the worst. But over the last hour, and it's about 9:30 now, trade has picked up, and surprisingly had more private sales than to the trade. Sold about 15 items so far. So I've covered my costs and I'm into a profit, which is all you can ever hope for at the end of the day. So I'll report back a little bit later on how I'm doing. I just had a very good sale, which was 3 packs of the caster wheels, the brass caster wheels, and some brass corner edges for restoration. So that was a very good sale, and that's what put me into profit. So let's check out what sold. Unfortunately, I didn't sell any of the carpenter's block planes or the large steel biplane. I was hoping I would move a couple of those, but it wasn't to be. At the back of the table on the corner you can see a brass planter that I sold to the trade, and I gave it away for £8. The 2 hand-carved African statues also sold for £15.
2 of the vintage Cadbury's tins sold for £5 each, and I had a good sale with those caster wheels. The African tally box that you can just see going out of frame sold for £15. The industrial print locks sold for £20. Didn't sell any of the vinyls. I sold a steel polar bear money box for £12 and the coopered barrel for £8. The Gil Merrick photos, again I sold them quite cheaply in the trade for £15, and the biplane also went for £15. The decoupage drawers went for £15, and unfortunately I didn't sell any or either of the parrots.
At the end of every day, I always take a moment to reflect on what I have learned. It's becoming more apparent at every market I attend that sourcing your stock at the right price is king. In the current economic climate, customers, be they trade or private, are looking to buy at rock bottom prices. And I'm noticing that increasingly, buyers are more than ever prepared to haggle over a pound or two, even for your lowest price stock. Which means, as a seller, I have to find ways to source my stock that will still leave me with that all-important profit. One way I try to do this is by bulk buying at auctions, or by making private house calls whenever I get the opportunity. As it soon became apparent to me that cherry-picking stock from antique shops or fairs is not going to deliver the return on investment I am looking for. So my advice is, be realistic about the purchase price of your stock before you commit to buying it, and always factor in your costs and overheads when working out what you have to sell the item for to make your profit. At the end of the day, a successful dealer is always a smart dealer, and as the man says, a profit's a profit.
So that's it then. That's another Malvern Flea done and dusted. Failed to hit my target by one sale, so overall I was happy as usual, and it was difficult circumstances today because of the wet grass. Well, it was waterlogged, the actual field. They used the hard standing, which spread the whole flea market out across a vast area, which meant there was lots of space for the buyers to wander around, and it was quite easy for them to walk down the middle of the aisles, so they weren't actually really coming into contact so much with your stall compared to if you were on the field and you're in the tight little narrow alleys really that are created, a bit like a shambles in Brighton, where you've got a narrow walkway with shops or stalls either side. So it was difficult to sell. It was a little bit of a grind, and it was a bit like the Chinese water torture, one drip or one sale at a time. But there was enough to keep you interested, which is the main purpose of coming, of course. I do enjoy doing this, it's not just a job. I do actually enjoy doing it. So the price has gone up £5 to £45, didn't mind that so much, and I'm actually looking forward to when it's all back on the field and back to normal, but I'll be at the next one. So if you check your diaries when the next Malvern Flea Market is, and if you're able to get down and come and say hello, that'd be great. I'll give you a mention in the next video maybe. So that's me signing off. As ever, please like, comment, share and subscribe to support the channel, but most important of all, stay safe and take care, and I'll see you next time.